Hey guys, super excited about our training Zoom tonight. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the last couple of Thursdays. We are going to dive into just some training and tips on follow-up, like organization, how to do it, why to do it, when to do it, all the good stuff about follow-up and sealing the deal. And then we're going to have a little bit of time at the end where we just kind of put in place the things that we talked about and trained and do some follow-up and hopefully seal the deal with people before you even jump off this Zoom tonight. So it's going to be really good. I have some girls that rock at follow-up and sealing the deal that are going to be sharing some tips with you. I'm just going to talk for a minute and then I'm going to let them kind of seal the show and give you guys all of the knowledge. So some of the advice that I give about follow-up, you guys, is number one, you just have to do it. If you're in this business and you want to be successful, you have to learn how to follow up and you have to get confident with following up. You can't feel like you are bugging people. You have something that they want, that they have shown interest in. And so what I always relate it to is getting emails from companies. Like, please tell me, you guys, I am not the only one that shops online, probably way too much, but I'm on some websites where if I add something to my cart, and I don't check out, I will get an email that's like, hey, I think you forgot something, or hey, here's some other things that you would like. Or even companies that use Facebook to show you things that you once looked at on their website. That is all a form of follow-up. When they send you an email and say, hey, you forgot something in your cart, they're following up with you. So when you're messaging people saying, hey, I know you were interested in XYZ, I haven't heard back from you, you are literally doing the exact same thing. You are following up with someone that for whatever reason, they didn't place their order or they didn't get back to you. And the thing you have to remember is that this business is a priority for us. We all want to earn our shopping sprees and make our money and get our paychecks and get all the volume and hit the promotions. Other people that are not in the business, that are just ordering products from you, they don't have the same urgency that you might have for them to order. So just because they don't respond, it doesn't mean they're not interested. You just notice it because it's a priority for you and it's not a priority for them. The other thing you have to keep in mind is that some people just don't have the extra money. And a lot of times they will just not respond because they would rather not respond to you, random girl on Facebook, and say, hey, I'm broke. They would rather just not respond and wait until they have the money. So people don't just tell you one day that they want to lose 20 pounds and then the next day change their mind. Their goal doesn't change. Their financial situation might change. What they thought they were going to have after they paid all their bills might change. Their schedule might change, whatever might change, but the goal doesn't change. So our job is just to touch base with people, build the relationship, plant the seed, and then continue to remind them that, hey, I'm still here. This is still something I'm serious about. This is still something I think you're going to love. If you tell someone like, oh my gosh, you're going to love this skinny brew, it's the best thing that you're ever going to drink ever, and I'm obsessed with it, and then you never talk to them ever again, that shows actually a lack of confidence in the products from you. And it also shows them that you maybe didn't mean what you said about it. Because if you really loved it that much and you really knew that they were going to love it, you would continue to check back with them because you know they're going to love it and they're going to benefit from it. So try to have that perspective when following up. 99, I think people in the chat would agree that almost all of your enrollments probably come from some sort of follow-up. We love the unicorns that just sign up on the spot, but most people, even if it's the next day or a few hours later, there is some sort of follow-up done before that person joins. So that's kind of just my tip and overview of why we have to follow up, but I know these girls are going to touch on that a little bit deeper, and they're going to give you some actual tips for how to follow up, what to say, all that good stuff. So I don't know who was actually going to go first. Arielle, did you want to go first and share your goodness?
I know you first.
Perfect. Take it away.
Hey guys, so I love Follow Up Friday so much. I love Friday. Every day is Friday for us, really, right? But I love Friday, and I love following up because I just love it. Like Alyssa said, life happens, and so that's one of the things I want to talk about was don't be afraid to follow up. Like, don't be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to bother them, or just little things like that. Like, just don't be afraid that you're bothering because life happens, and I know as a mom, I will look at a message, and, our little bubble pops up where it's like, oh, she read it. And then like we get bent out of shape. Like if somebody reads our message and they don't respond back, and we're like, oh my gosh, she hates me, or, that's dramatic, but you know what I mean? So I do that all the time because I'll read a message, or maybe I'm like thinking back about what to say, or like, or they're wrestling on the floor, like my kids are notorious. Go and help them.
I think you're cutting out. I don't know if it's just for me.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Am I good?
Oh, there you are.
Good?
Oh, maybe.
No?
Yeah.
Good?
I think so. We'll see.
Okay. All right. So I don't know where I cut out, but anyway, so life happens, right? So I'm always like at something, my boys will be doing something, and I have to throw my phone down and go get them or something like that, and then I left somebody on red, and then I forget to get back to them. That happens to me all the time. So guys, it happens to them too. They could be at work and you sent them a message and they like glanced at it and then they had to do stuff, or like Alyssa said, like it could be a money thing. Like nobody wants to say, I don't have the money. Like, so especially to somebody they don't know. So make sure you're following up no matter what. Also, I learned this last year when I was going double, was that I am not like, try to not be afraid to follow up multiple times. Like I used to be like, I just followed up with them the other day. Like I don't want to follow up with them again. Well, get that out of your head and follow up with them. Like if you have to follow up with them every single day. I was at the point where I was following up with them like twice or 3 times a day. I'm like, come on girl, like, I made it subtle. I wasn't like that annoying like sale girl, but because just life happens. And so there's little things that you can say like, hey girl, this is a really hot product. Like let's get your order in quickly. That's a good one for like the wait list. Or right now the immunity is sold out. So you could say something like that. Oh my gosh, let's get you on the list to get the immunity. But while that's on back order, how about we start you with something else? That's what leads into my other thing with following up is right now you guys have a really amazing promotion that they just announced. So take advantage of that and make sure every single person that you're following up with knows about it. Because not everybody sees your post. So that's why messaging is so crucial in this business is to let them know what's going on, let them know the promotion. So make sure tomorrow or now, today, whatever. I love that this Zoom on Thursday because tomorrow is the last Friday of the month, which is super awesome. But tell them like, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. I'm in my office right now. AKA you might not be in your office, but we're always in our office because we have our phones attached to our hips. So I always love that I'm in my office because then it's like create some urgency. And so I will say something like, hey, I'm in my office right now. Are you ready to get your order in? I would love to help you. By the way, our CEO just announced this amazing deal. Buy one, get one free. Put your personal, talk as you, don't script it. Talk to them like you. Like personally, I buy everything that's on sale. Like if I don't need it, I still buy it. Like I have 10 brownie mixes in my basement. We don't even eat brownies in this house. I have 10 brownie mixes because they were 10 for 10 and I felt I had to have it. My husband thinks it's ridiculous, but I am a salesperson. So you probably have people like that. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's buy one, get one. I don't need it, but I want it because it's buy one, get one. Like, so make sure you're throwing that in at the end of your follow-up. Like, oh my gosh, would you like to add this to your order? And create urgency and always assume that sale. So don't be like, or always end with like a question like, let's get that in, or what do you think? Let's add this to your order. Don't ever say like, well, let me know. Like, no, like don't do that. Assume the sale. Y'all know what you're doing. You got it. What was the next thing? Oh, so sorry, I'm talking so fast. Also, just remember to be real and be honest and be you, be that person. Let them know how much you need it. You're going for goals. Things like that. Make sure you guys keep following up, obviously, and don't let excuses get in your way. Don't let your mind get in your way, I guess, per se. Like, keep your why in the back of your head and just keep following up. And if you need help, just reach out to one of us, your sponsor, the team. Everybody can help you with sample messages. I know every Friday I send my team a big long thing of sample follow-ups, but just don't forget to be you. So the last thing that somebody wants is another script that they read, or they can hear it. Can y'all hear me?
And
Okay, Emily just said she couldn't hear me, so I was like, oh great, I just like said this whole thing.
nope.
Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say. Just remember to be real. I just like preach that all the time. Just be you, like relate to them. Guys, take advantage of this BOGO. Like we were just handed this amazing deal, and just remember also that it is the last Friday of the month. So kill it. It could be the last day that they're getting paid. And then also don't forget to include the distributor promotion as well. You can add that at the end of your follow-up message. Like they wanted Skinny Brew, right? So you're following up with them with Skinny Brew. At the end, be like, hey, you know what? I just did this yesterday. I was like, hey, you know what? Like, how would you feel about selling this and making money and drinking this coffee? Like you pretty much you're pretty much getting a bag of Skinny Brew and you can share with everybody how you feel about it. And you can get that money back in 30 days. Like, how would that feel? And I had somebody who's signing up tonight who said that, he was like, oh, okay, sure. Like, why not? Like, that's a good deal. So just make sure people know people are hearing about all these promotions because they might not know that. And it's not like, we don't want to gyp them of that. So that's pretty much all I have for follow-ups for me.
That's perfect. One of the pieces of advice I have besides just be you is also be creative. Like it feels way less pushy and like weird if you're just like having fun with it and being casual and not sending the same message every single time. So again, don't work off scripts. Like sometimes I'll literally just send them like a little GIF that's like, there's a bunch of funny ones like, where are you? Like, just, you'll know based on the person, like what you can kind of get away with and how you respond to them. But I always will blame it on something else. Like, oh my gosh, I've totally meant to check in on you yesterday. I'm so sorry. Like, I'll apologize. Like, it's my fault that they haven't placed their order yet. Or I'll say something like, yesterday our website was down for maintenance for a couple hours. I use that as a follow-up. Hey, just like the people that wanted to enroll themselves that didn't want to send me their info, like, hey, I just wanted to check in and make sure you didn't have trouble with the website. I know it was down for maintenance for a little bit. Like, were you able to get everything done? I always act like we don't get a notification email. Like, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got your order through okay, even though I know they didn't. So get creative with it and be very conversational. Like, make sure you're asking questions like she said. So Ariana, are you ready to share some tips? Hi.
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Hey y'all. So there's so many things that go into follow-up or that I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I texted Jess and I was like, I feel like I'm overthinking it. And she was like, yeah, you are. Just like talk about what you know how to do. And it just brought me back to how we tend to like overcomplicate things and overthink things, whether it be a follow-up message or a hat message or a distributor, it doesn't matter. It's like, are we saying too much? Are we being too pushy? Are we blah, 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 blah. But my advice to you guys would be to just keep it simple. Like keep it simple, straightforward. Like Arielle and Alyssa said, be yourself. But I seriously, when I check in, I just say, hey, Wendy, happy Wednesday. I'm at my computer right now putting in coffee orders and thought about you. Would you like me to help you get your order in as well? Just something like that. Or, hey, Jane, I know you were super pumped about growing longer, thicker hair with our hair, skin, and nails. I'm down to 2 discounted spots for the month. Did you want to snag one? So just very simple. I like to throw in, and some of them like remind them of the value of why they wanted the product in the first place. So like maybe they're like, oh yeah, my hair is short and thin and I really want this product. So it's always nice. Don't do that every time, but like just remind them of why they wanted the product in the first place. So yeah, keeping it simple and being consistent and not being afraid to follow up, every couple of days. And like Alyssa said, like I followed up with a potential distributor that we weren't friends, but we became friends. And she was like, I'm going to sign up tonight. I'm doing it. And I didn't hear from her. So I just sent her a message 3 days later. I was like, hey, just checking in. Are you still alive? Just that simple. And she like LOL'd and told me the rest of why she didn't sign up. But just be consistent. And I know Arielle touched on follow-up Friday, which we're at the very end of the month and the last Friday. But going through the month, you guys, you don't have to wait for Thursday or Friday to follow up. Like in reality, if you are talking to new people every day and starting new conversations, whether it be for customers or distributors. You should be able to follow up with somebody every single day, even if it's like 2 or 3 people. You should be doing that. And when I started doing that, I noticed I signed more customers and more distributors. So you don't have to wait for Follow Up Friday. I know we love it. It's the best, but try to follow up with at least a couple people every day. And there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, so just in follow up in general, when you are messaging people, it doesn't always have to be about the product or the business. A lot of times we do it and we're just like, oh, do you want to buy this product? Are you ready to order? Oh, you didn't order. People don't want to feel like they're just another sale, or you just want them on your team just for whatever. But just check in with them. You know, if you saw they posted something about their sick kid, hey, I saw your little girl was sick last week. Is she feeling any better? Interact with their story, just check in on them. And I will tell you that one of 2 things will happen. Either they are going to see your message and respond, and then see your previous message and say, hey girl, I'm so sorry, like whatever happened, and they will answer you, or they won't acknowledge those messages at all, but they will see that you give a crap about them and what they're going through, and that they're not just another sale, and that you genuinely care about them as a person. And I know we sell products and we have this awesome business, but we need to remember to build those relationships and cultivate those relationships and show people that that is what this business is about. So
such a good tip. Like seriously, sometimes instead, like if I've just followed up with someone like the day before or that morning, don't get me wrong, sometimes I will just follow up the next day, but some days I'll just go to their page and interact enough on their page and comment on a photo or 2, just enough to where they definitely saw my name, but I'm being personal and building a relationship without actually sending the message. Because sometimes just seeing your name pop up is enough for them to be like, oh crap, I didn't message that girl back. So there's multiple ways to follow up without just being in their inbox all about products in the business. That's a really, really good tip. And to go along with something else that you said, at the end of my messages, sometimes when I follow up, I will ask them a question that I know the answer is yes to, rather than saying like, are you ready to order? Like sometimes I'll use that, but sometimes I'll just say like, are you still wanting to lose 20 pounds before the summer? Or remind them of whatever, like you said with the hair, like, are you still wanting to make your hair thicker and longer before your wedding, or whatever they told you about their goal? Because chances are they're not going to be like, yeah, no, I changed my mind. They're going to maybe respond with an excuse, or they don't have the money. But I find that asking a question where the answer is yes helps the conversation keep going. I do the same thing in a conversation with a potential distributor or anyone. Whatever I end with, I always try to make the answer a yes, just to keep it going. Like, would it be okay if I sent you more information? Would you be willing to watch a quick video? Does that sound like something you would want to do to make money? Like, if you're always having a conversation and you're asking questions where the answer is yes, you're going to have a lot longer conversations. And the longer the conversations you have, I believe, the faster those people will end up ordering. So anyways, just a few extra things. And then Jess is going to share some organization and different tips with you guys. Can you unmute, or do you need me to unmute you?
I've got it. Hello, friends. Hello. So many good nuggets. How are you guys tonight? Super excited about the end of the month. I know it's been crazy with everything going on, but we are here and we are going to follow up and be bold. And I'm excited because all these tips are so good. I feel like I'm even learning stuff. So I was just going to touch on organization, and I feel like, okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but for the first, I'm not even going to say how long, in the business, I feel like I was just all willy-nilly about follow-ups. Like, I would talk to people, and then I would just like scroll through back into my messenger and just like randomly follow up with people on random days. Like, there was no rhyme or rhythm to it. It wasn't until last year I got super serious about how I organized, and I'm not a Google Sheets person or Excel person. I like the old-fashioned pen on paper. So I have a notebook, and I actually have little tabs. I just got it from Target, and I have PDTs for potential distributors that I talk to, PLCs for potential loyal customers, and then I have a tab for HAPs, host to post, people that are hosting posts for me, just so I can go through and easily see everybody spelled out. I also usually jot down like what we were talking about or their goals. Like Alyssa was saying, I actually just had this, somebody like, oh, 20 pounds before your wedding. I will write in there, wedding September, 20 pounds, whatever. The goal was so I can remind them of that when I follow up. And I also, so it's just really all about organizing and just keeping it all nice and neat, so you see all the names there instead of scrolling. So you know our messenger gets a little bit clogged up. And then once they sign up, I love it because it's you just cross it out, and then I have loyal customers and distributor tab too, so I can follow up with them and just make sure. I like for the BOGO and everything, it's really easy. Just go to the tab, go to all my existing loyal customers, let them know about it, go through the Connect app, because I've been using that a lot too. It's so much faster. And sorry, I'm getting distracted. Yes, baby's kicking. That's funny. Hi, Emily. So just keeping it organized, and to piggyback off of what Arielle was saying, sorry. I just like to message them like when they're hot leads. I saw a Zoom from Ashley and Alyssa. I have to minimize this. I'm so sorry. I'm way too ADD for this. Sorry, guys. But I saw a Zoom that they did about like follow up, and one of the things that I really took away from that was following up with hot leads, not waiting a week or until they cooled off and they're like kind of interested. You know, when you're talking and they're excited about Skinny Coffee and you made it sound so great on your Facebook or Instagram post or whatever that they saw it on, they're excited about it then. So don't wait a week, 2 weeks, whatever, to follow up with them again. That's been pretty nice, and having good conversations with people like that. So that's how I organize it. I know Sam does like Google Sheets and so whatever works for you, but this just is what works for me. And then I was talking about hot leads, and then so telling them that you're close to a goal, I feel like that helps too, because people want to help you. So especially at the end of month, it's like I'm 3 orders away from my goal for the end of month. Like it'd be a win-win, whatever it is you want to say, but telling them that you're close to a goal too kind of helps them like just go ahead and press submit their order, I feel like. And yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to touch on. I feel like we touched on everything else, but 3 spots left and super close to your goal. It just kind of helps them feel like they're helping you. And 3 spots left. I know you already said that, but if you say that, it kind of gives them like feels like they're getting something, they're getting in on something. I don't know.
Yeah. People like to know that do it.
A sense of
I don't know how else to say that.
Yes, a sense of urgency. And people just like to be a part of something bigger. So, but I also want to speak to those of you that maybe you're not pushing for a promotion that's going to be announced. Like you're not pushing for something that's like, maybe you're pushing to re-rank, or you're pushing for someone on your team to hit a promotion, but it's not necessarily yours. You are still pushing for a promotion. You can still follow up using that urgency and talk about like, I'm really pushing hard to, help one of the girls on my team promote. I don't know if it would make a difference to you whether or not you order today or next month, but it would make a huge difference to us if you were ready to place your order today. Just saying things like that, letting people know that they are making a difference for someone. It kind of just reminds people too that we are humans, that we are like trying to reach goals for our family or for our bills or for our kids, whatever it might be. So adding that personal touch to it is really important to help people, just take that extra step. They already want the products, but they're also getting to help you reach a goal. People really, really do respond well to that, like 99% of the time. So let's see. Does anyone else that talked tonight have any other tips that they want to share? Yes, Jess?
I forgot this one. Sorry, I totally spazzed out there for a second. I was like, how do I talk words? Okay. But I like what you said about being personal and like you are a person. So sometimes I switch over to voice memos. I know we've said that in plenty of other Zooms, but if you're new here or you're not utilizing that, I feel like people need to hear your voice and your enthusiasm, and that you're passionate about them too. It's like, and you can hear like, oh, hey, Jen, like, and I usually go back to their profile and see whatever they are doing that day, or like, their son's kindergarten graduation or something like that. Be like, oh, he looks so cute in his little cap and gown. Anyways, I wanted to follow up with you. I'm placing orders, blah, blah, blah. So it's just way more personal than a script. So voice memos.
Voice memos are life. They're so good. Even if you're awkward, even if you stumble over your words, like that's real. That's what people need, especially your potential distributors. Like when they see that you're not perfect and you're still somehow making it happen, like that's really powerful. So, and anyone can touch on this. Someone asked in the chat when you're getting organized, like when you jot down names for following up. I personally do not do it as I go. And maybe I should, maybe I would be more organized that way. But for me, it's not an efficient use of my time to write down a name every time I talk to someone new, because I plant too many seeds for that. And with host to post, like start too many conversations. I'd rather go through at the end of the day or even every 2 days and go back through my messenger and make sure I've got everyone in one spot or written down, or typed in my Google spreadsheet, however you're staying organized. For me, that makes more sense. And I'm going to be totally honest, guys. I probably miss people sometimes because I do it that way. I'm sure there are people that don't make it onto my follow-up list that I end up just finding in my messenger randomly. And I'm going to give you guys a tip on that. But if you are so organized that you have like everything just lined up and in place and you've got all your people, you're probably not talking to enough people. If you really have, I know we've got some greens on here that are probably just super organized, and maybe you do have everyone, but also don't wait until you have the perfect system to feel like you can be successful. Like talk to enough people, and if you feel a little overwhelmed and you feel like you're going to miss someone, that's great. You're doing it so right because you're putting out the numbers that you need to be able to get the enrollment. So get the system as you go, but don't feel like the system has to be perfect right now. I've changed my system like 100 times. I've done the spreadsheets, I've done the notebooks, I've done planners and calendars and all the things. It's just whatever works for you in that season. So don't get so caught up in the system that you miss the point of the business, which is sharing the products and sharing the business. But the other thing that I was going to share with you guys, because I do keep, I just changed my system and I'm going back to a list, a handwritten list. But one of the ways that I follow up, especially with, special promotions or BOGOs or whatever we've got going on, is I search Messenger for keywords. Like when starter kits went half off, I literally searched starter kit, and then I searched a few other words that I know that I use when I'm talking to potential distributors. And I followed up with literally everyone in my Facebook Messenger that I've ever used that word for. And so I'll do the same thing with greens today, reds, all of that. I will search my messenger, and that's how I'll follow up with people. Like, yes, I will go to my list, but I actually will hit more people by searching my messenger. And then obviously like Instagram, it's a little bit different. Text message might be a little bit different, but a lot of the people I talk to are on Facebook. So I know I can hit a lot of people searching that way. So I would recommend doing that tonight. Whatever you need to follow up, search for Thermophyte, search for red, it doesn't have to be a product we have a special on, but that's a really good tool to use for follow-up. Okay, so I know we were just going to kind of work for the next 20-25 minutes. I don't know if you girls had anything planned or if you just kind of want to put your heads down and work. If you have tips or scripts that you want to share in the chat, we can kind of bounce around some different things in the chat for people to use. But I think I'm personally, and I'll share the message in the chat that I'm using through the Connect app, but I'm following up with all of my current customers right now about the promotion. So reds, greens, hydrate. I shared the message in the March Madness chat, but I will put it in the chat on Zoom too, in case you guys missed it. Please follow up, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of Like, if you think people have the money or they don't, because it's not our job to prejudge, it's our job to share. And especially with the promotion we have going on, these are products that people actually want and need. We're not trying to sell them like perfume while we've got a coronavirus. Like, we are selling things that are going to help their health. And a lot of people can't get to the grocery store. A lot of people don't have the proper nutrition at home. A lot of people are trying to take care of kids while also staying healthy. So we are offering them a gift, and they're getting 60 days of the products for half off. So make sure that you use the Connect app, send that to all of your customers, and then go to Facebook Messenger and search keywords over there for anyone that maybe hasn't ordered from you before but has been interested in those products. But I'll let you guys, if you guys have anything else you want to share for tips or tasks to do for the rest of the hour, you guys can unmute. Otherwise, I'll stop the recording. No pressure.
This isn't a tip, but I just wanted to tell you guys. So today I went out of my isolation cell and I had to go get my prenatals because I was completely out, and to Vitamin Shop. And the guy in there from 10 feet away told me that everybody has been flooding in here. All the vitamin C was completely sold out. I just, because I wanted to. I looked over at the greens section. It had like 2 tubs left, and their prices were like $45, $49, $50+ for a month's supply of greens that don't taste good, because that's what I used to be on before our greens. So I just wanted to tell you guys that as a little extra confidence in our products, that we have what people want. They want to boost their immune systems, like Alyssa was saying, and our prices are better and our ingredients are better and they taste good. So go boldly, and that's all I had to say.
And they get sent to your doorstep, and you don't have to go to a vitamin shop where everyone sick is going to get vitamin C.
Yeah, and then you have to shower and then Clorox your shoes when you get home. Like, what? No.
I love it. Okay, so we will, if you girls or anyone that's on here, will share messages or any other tips and tricks in the chat. We'll give some people some sample messages, but you guys also know that you can always go to the Success Squad page, literally search follow-up, and you'll find like more posts than you would ever need with follow-up scripts and ideas. The main thing is not what you say. The main thing is just actually doing it. That's the key to follow-up. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining. We will stay on and work together, but that is the end of the training part, and we'll share anything else in the chat.